Hello, dearest friends, beautiful souls of love and light. This is Nanari, Princess of the Sea, coming to you with another video today. Interestingly enough, I'm looking down at my clock and it says 4:43, about to turn 4:44. What a synchronicity. Um, I have been receiving some comments on my YouTube videos, both on YouTube itself and then off Facebook and whatnot. And there you go, the clock just changed to 4:44. How beautiful is that? And so I wanted to address some of those comments and then also kind of get to the heart of the matter of this video here. To address some comments, the 444, which equals 12, is very powerful. And 12 is my beloved and my number, and we have a lot of 4, 8, and 12. His life path number is 8, mine's 4, and together we're 12. But it's also significant because there is a gentleman by the name of Ron. Hello, Ron. This message is for you. In watching your last two videos on YouTube, I just wanted to give you a message here and invite all of you to please go watch Ron's videos on YouTube. I believe his subscriber name is Paradox Man 316, and in my video description I've left links for his most two recent videos. And I just want to say how much I honor Ron, because in watching his last two videos it became very clear to me just how beautiful, as always that I feel anyway, but just how beautiful the divine masculine is. You know, I have a saying that I've always said to my beloved, and I've said to him, when he is being real, raw, vulnerable, and from the heart, that's when he's at his best. And I really honor Ron, because in being the divine masculine, you will see when you watch the two videos that I'm speaking of that are in the video description, just how real, raw, vulnerable, and from the heart Ron is. He's awakening into his space of, you know, true love and true compassion, and his messages are mirroring a lot of my messages here. And so I really want to honor you and say thank you to you. Um, I do, I honor you, Ron. Thank you. And you're a really amazing man. So thank you. Also, I received a comment, a message last evening, which I had to laugh at. A very dear friend of mine who's in Portland, Oregon, Steve, call him Captain Steve. Hello, Steve. This message is for you now. You messaged me last night with something rather funny, and I thought it was absolutely adorable, so I'm going to address it on here. He was making reference to the fact that, you know, I have bare shoulders here, and was I actually wearing any clothes? And I gotta admit, I was laughing my ass off when I received his message. So I just want to address that to everyone. Actually, I am. It's summertime here, and so it's been warm. Actually, it's cooling off the last few days. But as a result, I usually in the summertime wear my sarongs a lot, and so I'll kind of put it up here. Okay, I am wearing a sarong. You see? I have it across my chest. So in the videos, because of the way the camera is, you don't really see my sarong. But rest assured, I am doing this clothed, okay? So would like to put that out there and say thank you, Steve, for making me laugh. You're always a joy and a love, and I appreciate you. Thank you. Um, and now to the heart of the matter. Um, Last evening, a gentleman who I mentor wrote to me and asked me to speak about something, and I was actually going to do my next video on the continuing on the sacred path of twin soul relationships, having to do with the crises and the runner dynamic and whatnot. And I still plan on doing that video. That video will be coming in a couple of days. So for those of you who are waiting with bated breath for that, for more wisdom, I will be getting to that very shortly. And thank you to the many, many who have been writing in and saying how much they've been helped by my videos that I've been doing. So this gentleman who I mentor, who's in Egypt, Shovel, hello, love, he brought to me something, and I was going to delve into this in the Twin Soul Relationships, the Sacred Path videos, which I will go in further depth. However, it's come to light because of some other twists and turns with some other comments and things that have happened along the way, that I'm doing this video now to put out to you. And his comment was, he said, one more thing I want you to talk about in your videos is how people put masks on their hearts, not just on their faces. And that's part of the twin soul journey. But I was realizing, because of some events that happened earlier this afternoon, that this is not only just for the twin soul journey, but this is for all relationships. So often we place up a mask there. And, I received a comment from a beautiful soul who I will also like to honor in this video, Peter. His spiritual name is Sine. So Sine, thank you very much for what you wrote, because I had posted something on my Facebook wall a little while ago, and his response to it, and onto his group, which I'll also leave the link for here in the video description for his Facebook group, and also his other group that he has on a website. It's absolutely beautiful, and I honor you, Sine. Thank you for the love and light that you give to the world, in helping humanity as well. And his comment, Sine's comment, he said, it's not so much important what we do, but the intention behind it. With other words, why we do it. And so, because of something that just happened this afternoon, in which a woman who I was mentoring and who is a friend began lashing out. If you remember in my last video, I did speak of the fact that, when we stand in this presence of unconditional love and we're really loving all of ourselves, bumps, bruises, and all, and we're loving all of each other, bumps, bruises, and all, it can bring up that more fear, that more anger, and everything that's quote unquote darkness, what we supposedly call darkness within other people, is going to bring that up to bring it to the light, to transform it into love. Now, fear and anger and all of that is all love, and Neale Donald Walsch talks about it in Conversations with God on, I think it's page 24, if I remember correctly, and I will leave that in the video description as long as I can post it in there. It's as long as it's not too long of an excerpt, I will go ahead and put that in the video description as well. So fear and love are one and the same. Along with that, to answer Shovel's question, why do people put masks on? People are often, because of our indoctrination of being in this opposite of darkness, people are often afraid to be real, to be that real, raw, vulnerable, and from the heart. And these videos that I'm doing here, I'm sharing a lot from my personal life, of my own experiences and things that have happened, in relationships that I have had, things with my family, the abuse that I experienced and whatnot. I've also shared things that, I personally have done. In what we call earthly mistakes. I'm going to delve into more of that, and the reason why I did some of the things recently in the last few years, with my relationship with my beloved, but I will state them briefly here. And I have said in my other videos and the meditational satsangs and stuff that are posted here on YouTube that, I've grown from these things, and I'm, very sorry, deeply sorry for the earthly mistakes that I made. And I am, very much. Some of the things that I did, I was an ego once, and took a hold of my beloved's email list. He sent out an email, not BCCing everyone, and I took a hold of his list and proceeded to send out some, not so very nice things about him, that his former girlfriend had said about him. And my letter in there, part of it was coming from fear and ego too, but the other part was reaching out in help, as well. But at the same time, I can see, where I was with that, and, where I was hurting. and where I was lashing out. And I've grown from that. You know, I saw the mistake, and I've grown from that. The other thing I did, you know, in that fear and that hurting, you know, when he was lashing out at me and hurt, can't tell you, this must be if I have to think about it, I think it's about the third or fourth YouTube page we have now. I have to remember all the ones we had. But you know, I got upset and deleted all the YouTube videos that I created of his music that he asked me to create, because I was upset and I was hurting. You know, when he was lashing out at me, my response was to lash back out at him. And I've grown from that, and I've come to understand that that's not the way. You know, that's not what heals. Love is what heals. And that's why I did the video that I did yesterday, you know, the Lightworker video. And for those of you who haven't seen it, I invite you to please watch it. I will leave the link below here in the video description as well. So, you know, I did those things. And, you know, you know, they were mistakes. And I'm truly and deeply sorry for that. And I've also grown from it to understand, you know, that that's not the way, that love is the way. And so someone came to me, and, you know, oh, sorry, actually, Shovel was the one who came and asked about, you know, why do we put masks on our heart? And it's that fear. It is that fear, because, you know, perhaps maybe in our childhood, we were told, like Rev Arlene, who was so brave and courageous in speaking out, in what she shared in the sermon, which I will also leave the link for in the video description here. Um, you know, she was told basically, shut up and go to bed. You know, and so she hid herself, and so she put a mask on. You know, we often do that in fear because we're afraid of what people will think of us. We're afraid, you know, that people will lash out at us. We're afraid to be who we are. And oftentimes, the core, deepest reason is we feel we're not good enough. And we feel that we're not worthy enough of love. And we feel that what it is that we have to say isn't worthy enough to be said. And then we have all these other well meaning people who attempt to, you know, shut us up, if you will, as Reverend Arlene explained in her sermon. And what I've come to understand is in being real, that, you know what, sometimes it's not all flowery. You know, sometimes it's messy. Something I will also leave in the video description here too, for anyone who knows about the Thrive movement. Kimberly and Foster Campbell, Gamble, sorry, Kimberly and Foster Gamble, have just released a new video about the Thrive movement, and in it, Kimberly speaks of that, you know, uh, sometimes during the shift that we're going through right now, you know, it gets messy. You know, it's not all perfect, you know, and flowery love. And being in that space of integrity and being free from putting a mask on your heart, as well as on your face, means integrity is how honest you are with yourself. And how honest are you to walk your walk and talk your talk? Everything that I put out here, my videos here on YouTube, my writings, things that are on my website, you know, I walk my walk and talk my talk. And I'm not just saying that from a space of ego. I'm sharing with you, you know, personal stories simply to let you all know, you know, hey, we're all going through it together. You know, your story may be a little different, but, you know, we're all going through the same things. We're all going through some shifts. We're all in human form, you know, spiritual beings in human form. And so, in having that, sometimes it's messy. Sometimes you have to unprogram and shift all of that. And so, being in integrity is how honest are you with yourself and how you walk your walk and talk your talk in the world. That it's both. You can tell if you're in integrity, if your inner experience is in alignment with and matches what your outer experience is. And my inner experience is a reflection of my outer experience. So I know I'm in total integrity of that unconditional love, because then you embody love rather than practicing it as, some idea of love, like it's all supposed to be flowery and nice. People say they love everybody. What does that really mean, though? I invite you to ask yourself, if you say you love everybody, what does that really mean? I know what it means for me on the journey and what Jesus represented and all of the other beings of light that have been before us that have shown us what unconditional love means. And to me, what does that really mean? It means, that most of the time it's conditional love for people. Most of the time, in other words, it's I'll love you if you're good to me. I'll love you if you say and you do the things that I want you to say and do. That's conditional love. Real, true, unconditional love is you love every part of yourself and another. Every part, even the moments when someone's lashing out, even the moments when someone, is hurting, even the moments when someone is in fear. You love every part of yourself when you're doing that, and also those loving parts when you're being kind. And the ultimate human experience in being a spiritual being in human experience is, yes, to be a continuous flow of loving words, but not in a sense of fakery, not in a sense of conditional love, to where, you say and do the right things just so someone will love you. That's certainly not the space I'm coming from. I have those moments when I lose it. I mean, classic example, if you read or see the video of the meditational satsang, they've become rarer and rarer for me, yes, because of the space of enlightenment that I'm in, but I still love myself for it in the moment. I don't hate myself, and I don't self-loathe myself and judge myself and say, oh, I'm bad because, I broke down the other night. No, not at all. I love it all, as I spoke about in my most recent video. And then you come to have true compassion for everyone, where they are on the journey, including you, including yourself. That's what integrity really means. Now, I was questioned today by a person who I was mentoring. She came forth to me and proceeded to say that she thought she was sitting in judgment of me. She was judging me, and she thinks that, while my videos are beautiful, that there's a lot of personal drama in them. So I wrote back to her this: it is free from being about personal drama. It is about practical application of how to bring all into love and into light. Love is not about just flowery things. As light workers, we are meant to embrace all love, all aspects. You embody love rather than practicing it as an idea or an ideal. People say they love everybody. What does that mean? What does that really mean? Most of the time it means conditional love. In other words, I love you if you are good to me, or you say or do the things I want to hear. Real, true, unconditional love is love for every part of yourself and another. All sides of them. Not just the good stuff that seems to please your ego. There are many who do not understand what practical application of being love means. Many think it's just being all flowery and nice. And when all of us have shifted into that place, then yes, we'll be there. This is going to occur long after we're all physically gone on this earth, because it's an evolutionary process. Jesus did not say, I will love you if you are nice to me. Even when he was being persecuted and hung on the cross, he still loved. He still saw what they were doing and being as love. That's what true love really means. It is not about personal drama. Personal drama is, a saying that, oh, he did this and he did that. I'm free from doing that. What I'm being and doing is sharing with you, much like the ancients share. As ancient societies and shamanic tradition, we used the power of story, the power of myth, folklore, as both a metaphor and actual real stories about what people went through and experienced, as a means to teach spiritually, to help others to remember who they are. I'm no different. I'm just like you and all the other ones out there. Reverend Arlene did so, sitting on her, sermon that she did, standing, I should say, standing and doing her sermon she did the other night. And I was accused of that I'm attempting to be right. This is free from being about being right at all. I have no intention of being right. I'm simply here to share. I'm simply here to give. And when this person came to me, she shared with me very many things about her relationship that she was involved in. And I never said to her that such was personal drama. I never said to her that I didn't want to hear it. I had love, compassion, and understanding for her. Why? Because I understand that we're all going through this together. We are all in this space of love and going through the human experience together. So of course we're going to have things that occur. I want to share with you something that just happened moments ago as I was filming the other portion of this video that I'm now going to put into the video, merging the two videos. Back Thursday night, when I was watching the Agape service, in the middle of it, I just began sobbing in such uncontrollable love, in gratitude so much for Rev Arlene's message. I went on to the Agape Spiritual Center group and posted a message to Rev Arlene. And this is what I wrote to her. Rev Arlene Hilton Campbell, I cannot tell you the tears and the love and inspiration flowing through me right in this moment. I was unable to live love stream last evening because I was holding my own spiritual satsang locally in the park. However, I am watching your sermon now, and I cannot thank you enough for what you said. The courage, the strength, the love that it took and takes to do so, of everything you've said, is a mirror of who I am, what I've been through, and what I'm going through now. I've been doing some recent videos on my YouTube to share some things, much as you said, that are hard to talk about. Hard because my beloved and others, I will put in parentheses now, have been in denial about things, and I too, like you, suppressed it, keeping my mouth shut, and not shining my light in this area of my life, really the only area of my life. And your message in service last evening, almost word for word, of my own journey then, and of now, how no more, as you said, it is time for things to be shared. And that I am free from doing such to hurt my beloved or anyone, but is truly for the reasons that you stood up there last evening and did what you did. From the depths of my heart and soul, thank you. You truly changed my life more than you can ever know. Thank you so much, and I love you. With love, Minari. I wrote this Thursday evening, 7:23 p.m. it says on the post, evidently. Just now, Reverend Arlene liked my post on the group, and she wrote to me this message just 4 minutes ago. It says, "Thank you for your open heart and your willingness to receive the message. I pray you continue to heal and have a good life anyway. Blessings." And that Good Life Anyway reference had to do with what her sermon was about. So when you watch it, you'll understand what the reference is to. Thank you, Reverend Arlene. It means more than you ever know. Thank you. I honor you. And as my beautiful friend Towanda said, and I honor you, Towanda, thank you for this. She wrote this. This is what Spirit is calling us light workers to do. Have the courage we were born with. Speak up. It is not what you say, but how you say what you say to someone that makes a difference in the world. Be who we were sent here to be, and if someone doesn't like it, oh well. Please keep in mind that we all have to be very mindful of how we treat one another. There is a lot going on right now. We are all one and have been called to love and care for one another in the best way we know how, without judgment. And I really thank you for that, Towanda, because it's so very true. We're all in this together. It's about the practical application of what being loved means, because most people just say, oh, be loved now. Most of the people don't understand. And so I'm showing you through example of my own life in walking the walk and talking the talk, that here I've had some grievous things happen to me, and I've done some grievous things too. And yet I've grown from that. So I'm showing you the path of how to be loved, so that if you so choose to and resonate with it, then you can walk the same path. And if you're free from resonating with it, that's okay too. I say that in my second book. Take with you what resonates and leave the rest. When Rev Arlene spoke in her sermon for the Agape Wednesday service, she shared some very personal things, which is why I invite you to watch it. Was she doing such from a space of being right? Was she doing such from a space about personal drama? No, not at all. She was doing such to be shared, to benefit not only her own healing, but the healing and benefit of all, being in service. And it was a beautiful sermon. I'm no different. You're no different. We do the same all the time. Paradox Man 316, Ron, he just did the same thing, albeit in a different way. Within the video that's below here in the video description, a couple of days ago would have been his 44th wedding anniversary. And the vulnerability that he shared in those moments of that video, that's what it's all about. Being real, dropping the mask and saying, hey, look, I screwed up. I made some mistakes. I've grown from it, and I'm sorry. I'm a better man or a better woman because of it. That's being in integrity, being honest with yourself and being honest with the world. And that's what is required more and more in our relationships and in the world. Things like Reverend Arlene did, things like Ron did on his YouTube video, things that I'm doing here now. It's not about being right. It's about being real, raw, vulnerable, and from the heart. Because we've all had and have the same experiences. So I asked this person, in reflection of my recent video, the one before this one here, I asked this person, said, you know, what is it within you that's hurting that has you judge me and say that my videos are personal drama? And I really honor her and I bless her on the journey. I understand where she's coming from. It is bringing up some things within her, Possibly she's picking up on my beloved's energy as well. Could be many things. But wherever she's at, as Michael Beckwith says, wherever that person's at, God is. And so I want to close this video out by saying to all of you, thank you. Thank you to all those who have written back so many wonderful comments saying how I've helped you with my videos. And thank you to those who have rejected as well the videos because of where they are on the journey too. I bless all of it. I bless all of you. And I thank you for that. And it's being real, raw, vulnerable from the heart is where it's at. That's the new paradigm of relationships. That's the taking off of the masks. So in that, may all your dreams and wishes come true. I love you, I honor you, and I bless you. Spapa.